Welcome, everybody, to the Lords of the Pointless podcast, where we talk about all things pointless games, anime, movies, the like. Today, I think our goal is to talk about some animes. So
Hell yeah.
let's see here.
My
We
favorite
had a
topic.
couple different.
It's the anime episode, everybody.
For all of the listeners and watchers out there who may watch anime and who may not, this is a perfect podcast, perfect episode, perfect discussion topic for not only you, but us as well, because in this episode, we're going to debate a lot of things that are wrong with anime, a lot of things that are right with anime, and how anime differs. So you can come from being an anime watcher, or you could be fresh into it, and you're going to get something from this episode. I definitely believe
Or
that.
hentai. Or hentai. We don't discriminate.
Absolutely.
This is true.
Because it
Well,
falls
maybe-
into the category.
Maybe you do, Chance. Maybe
I mean,
you do. Because
My anime list
wanted to.
specifically has a hentai category that has over
Does it?
1,800
You.
inserts. So you
1,800.
can take that as you wish. There was literally maybe like 3 other categories that were a little bit over 1,800, and you could probably guess them. They were like shonen and music, so it is very big
So-
popular.
You're saying you had 1,800 entries?
There were 1,800 links
Watched.
in the hentai category on my anime list.
1,800
Somebody needs to take
watched.
this man's FAP card.
Not for me personally, no,
Like,
but just in the category
Okay.
itself on my anime list.
bruh. that's a lot of anime titties, brother.
Damn right.
So, yeah, like I was going to say, though, we all, one way and another, got introduced to anime in some way. A lot of stories are different, but if you are a millennial, you probably got introduced to it from Toonami. And having cable as a kid, I knew I was introduced to anime by Toonami, but being a young age, I was probably around 6, maybe 7, when I very first saw Toonami on TV. I thought it was for adults because it always came on late at night.
Late at night, yep.
So, it kind of had a weird vibe to it at first, and I'm like, what is this? The curiosity was already sparked, and one of the very first animes I watched on there, I didn't know what it was at the time, but it ended up being Samurai Champloo. And that's a really, really heavily hip-hop influenced anime, and it's also... It's very iconic in being one of the old animes that still holds up today.
Yeah, that
Not
one's got some
only
good
that,
vibes.
you had Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z Kai. You also had Naruto, Bleach, Cowboy Bebop,
Ooh.
and those were the pretty much like predominant anime on Toonami around that time. So I feel like in the older realm and the beginning era for my anime,
The before times.
yeah. For at least like my introduction to it is definitely Toonami, and I
Same.
credit Toonami for a lot of my addiction to anime.
Same. I think
I didn't-
Dragon Ball
I
Z
didn't really-
was the first one for me on Toonami.
Yeah. I didn't really understand that it was anime, I guess. I just kind of was just hyped about it. And they had those, I remember they had those, commercials where they just kind of hyped up the shows, especially Dragon Ball Z. And something about it was just so teenage hype.
No, yeah, their marketing for their commercial, the Toonami commercials were fucking
So good.
classics, dude. Classics.
Yeah, seeing the dude in the spaceship, bruh.
Yeah, what was his name? Like Tom or something like that?
Yeah, it was Tom.
I can't remember.
Yeah, that guy was that. Every
And the-
time I'd get back from school, my buddy was he had a dad that worked in the cable business. So what he would do is he would set his time on his cable 3 hours ahead. So it'd be New York time. So by the time we'd come home from school, Toonami would be on over at his house. And that's where we would
Yep.
start to watch it. And just realizing going from something like Cartoon Network, where they have shows that are like Ed, Ed and Eddie and Dexter's Lab,
Courage the
and then
Cowardly
Courage the
Dog.
Cowardly
Yes,
Dog,
sir.
which is
Hell
probably
yeah.
the darkest cartoon on Cartoon Network.
Dude,
and then
that
going
shit
straight to
scarred me as a kid.
Toonami, where they would literally have like Dragon Ball Z or like Sailor Moon and Tenchi Universe, where there was a lot more sexual tension going on, especially in Tenchi Universe. If you have ever seen it, that's like a really I mean, it's a good show. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it.
Actually,
but
I haven't.
It's another one of those ones where it's just like if you were caught watching this like at home, your parents would be like, "What are you watching?" You know what I mean? So I had a little escape to be able to go home, watch those at a friend's house.
Hell yeah.
For me, for some reason I had DirecTV as a kid, and for some reason by default it was New York time, even though we were in California. So I would always
wow.
get the shows early.
That's
and,
so cool.
And that's how I got introduced not only to anime but like Adult Swim as well, like Futurama and all that jazz.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the Adult Swim days. They were
Adult
so
Swim days.
cursed. They were
The
so
bumps.
cursed.
I love the
Oh,
bumps.
dude, the bumps. The bumps.
They are always so just out there.
so good.
They always had some like random saying, but the music behind like the quote was just so
classic.
chill. Yeah.
The
and you're
bumps
like,
always heavily inspired my music
Alright.
taste when I was a
Okay.
kid, for sure.
hell yeah. They were just so vibey.
So,
But Justin,
What
you
other
watched
kind of
Toonami,
childhood-
right? Sorry.
yeah.
What were some of the shows that that really stuck out for you from Toonami?
So
When I was really young, the main one was Dragon Ball Z. That was definitely the main one. I remember around the same time I started to get into Shonen Jump. Like I would buy like a couple issues of them, and I think it was in like the Cell Saga when I first like was checking it out.
Wow, really?
It was pretty dope. Yeah,
That's-
and also
That's big brain.
it was pretty cool because when I would buy these Shonen Jumps, that's also how I got introduced to Naruto.
Oh,
Because-
that's sick.
It was in the middle of
Classic.
the like Chunin exams where you had like the forest section and the quiz and the all that stuff. So it for me it wasn't just Toonami. It was more like that and just like picking up random Shonen Jumps occasionally. I
Well, yeah,
lived
that's
in like
that's big brain plays at that age. I mean, I had no idea
Yes.
that there was any medium outside of anime. Like, you would think, being so ignorant, that the anime was actually like the first adaptation. And then, growing up later, you find out about the manga and you go, oh my goodness, like there's a source for where this comes from. It's not just put into animation immediately.
right.
When I
it's
was
not, like,
really,
written
really
like
young.
a show.
when I was really Yu Yu Hakusho was another one that was in the Shonen Jump that I was at, or around the same time, like those issues.
Mhm.
So, but man, like some of those old classic shonens are just so fire, even today. Do you guys
Oh,
think
yeah.
though? Do you guys think though that Dragon Ball Z like holds up today?
So I can chime in on this real quick. I tried to watch it like I think last year, from the start of Dragon Ball Z to try and push through as far as I can, and I had gotten past I think his name was like Garlic Jr. Saga, which is like past the Cell Saga and past the Android Saga. And I realized how fucking long it was, dude. And I'm not gonna lie, there were times where I'd be like, let me skip through this episode. Is Goku still powering up? Yes. Okay, I'm gonna skip. And there would be times where I'd maybe skip like 8 episodes into Dragon Ball Z, where it's like, I don't need all this filler garbage or just bullshit talking.
So
And
the
that's how
Garlic
far I
Jr.
got
saga-
before stopping. So I don't think it holds up. I think, honestly, watching it week to week when you were a kid, you could get through it. But nowadays, the way that we consume anime, we have to consume it in binges. We don't watch, if you're really trying to min-max, you're not watching the openings. You're not watching the last week on Dragon Ball Z, 2-3 minute clips. So you're getting about 15 to 20 minutes of an actual episode, and you're still pumping through it. It doesn't hold up the same way it did back then, because back then you would look forward to seeing, Goku beat Frieza. Maybe he wasn't going to do it this week or next week, but you knew he was eventually going to do it, and you were hyped for it. And now you're just like, holy fuck, get it over with, dude. You throw the fucking spirit bomb already. You know what I mean?
Yeah, literally.
So,
kick his ass!
I don't think it holds up, but at the time, watching it, it was probably like some of the top tier anime that you could have consumed.
You mentioned the Garlic Jr. saga. So if I'm not mistaken, that is literally filler, because it wasn't in the manga, if I'm not mistaken. And it was basically just a segment that was made up for the show, essentially. And oftentimes that is the case with a bunch of different shonen anime, Naruto included, where there's all these
prime example.
It's like you get into an arc and it's like, all right, this is the fire arc, this is the cell arc, awesome, this is amazing. And then you get into a different arc and it's like, oh, this is just bad content.
I'm not gonna lie, I liked the filler episodes in Naruto where they're just fucking around in the village and
there's some really bad ones, though.
I mean, okay,
yeah, dude.
I can't think of anything specific, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of a fan sometimes of filler episodes. Not so much on One Piece. One Piece, I could be like, all right, get to the fucking point. But Naruto, I was kind of all right with seeing them interact in a way where it wasn't just like fucking life or death.
So let's move on with the topic then. We were talking about Toonami anime. How about the anime that we think from back in that era?
We didn't hear from Cameron about Toonami. Did Cameron?
Oh shit, bro.
I mean, did Chance have any chance?
See, that's where I was trying to cue in Chance here, because what I was gonna say is that Toonami, being Toonami, and when it came out, it introduced a lot of people to their very first anime. And my question to Chance was going to be, what was your very first anime you ever watched?
Probably Dragon Ball, like the original Dragon Ball.
The original?
See, and that's why it's one of the big
original
three.
Dragon Ball. Yeah, but it's like when I was younger, because I was so into like Ren and Stimpy, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Cow and Chicken, Cat Dog, like all those kind of shows and shit, like Ed, Edd and Eddy and all that stuff later. Like I don't know, I think it was just something about the animation that I just didn't like very much. But now that like I actually have a close-knit group of friends that are like, you should definitely watch this, I'm like starting to branch out a little bit more. And I've thought about yeah, exactly. And I've thought about it a little bit, and I think once I'm done with
talking about anime.
Yeah. I think once I'm done with Attack on Titan and once I'm done with Demon Slayer, I might go revisit some of those older ones. Like I know my wife and I actually restarted Sailor Moon from like episode 1. Like,
there you go.
Like a couple.
That's
weeks
one I
ago.
haven't seen.
Oh yeah.
How many episodes are there of that?
I don't fucking know.
I can imagine a lot.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, there's multiple seasons.
Yeah,
I've seen a little bit of it, not the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I just think because I don't know. I think it might have been just because like a lot of, I mean, even when I was younger, and I mean, I'm talking like elementary school all the way through high school and like college. That's just what everybody did. They watched anime, and I'm like, I don't want to be like everybody else. I want to be the weird guy that just doesn't fucking watch it. You know what I mean?
I mean, anime wasn't that popular.
Yeah,
like it was popular, but you couldn't exactly, at least for me, I couldn't exactly talk about it in middle school or high school.
I was
no,
gonna say the
that's
same
all
thing.
they talked about with the people that I went to high school with. And
It's not football.
actually not really high school. I'd say more middle school, like elementary school, just because I bounced around to a bunch of different schools all over California when I was younger. But yummy.
Noise.
But yeah, so I honestly, and maybe we can use this to kind of push into the next topic, but like I said, Dragon Ball was like the first anime I watched, but one of the ones that I actually like enjoyed when I was younger, I'm talking like I'm like 8, 9, 10, was Hamtaro.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was
Hamtaro.
about that fucking show,
Yes, sir.
but it was so cool. I'm like, they're little hamsters that just live their own little lives.
Yeah, they all had their own like cute, unique like styles to them. I actually was so like taken from it that I went out and got a hamster that was orange that looked exactly like Hamtaro, and I named him Hamtaro. And this motherfucker would climb out of his cage in the middle of the night and then crawl on me in my while I was sleeping, and I'd wake up and be like, "What the fuck?" And I'd sadly fling him across the room, and then realize, holy shit, he got out and he's climbing on top of me. So yeah, he was an escape artist for sure.
Nice.
But he lived for like 4 years, so he was a good pet. Rip Hamtaro.
R.I.P. Hamtaro. But yeah, I don't know. I just never felt the need to get into anime when I was younger, just because. I mean, I was also, my parents kind of raised me to where it's like you don't really need to be watching TV all the time. And if you're going to watch TV, you're going to watch adult shows that we like. And yet my parents are watching like Law and Order SVU, where it's talking about like sexual assault and stuff. Or like,
I mean, SVU
CSI,
was the
where it's
best
in
Law
Las
and
Vegas
Order,
and
let's
dead
admit.
bodies of hookers everywhere. And I'm like, really?
Antique Roadshow.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Did your parents force you to watch Antique Roadshow, Justin?
No, I just like that shit.
Oh,
That's
really?
the best anime.
That's the best anime. I agree.
Oh no, my dad had me, because my dad was in the Navy. He watched Jag like every morning before I went to school. I don't know what it was, but I think it would like help him relive his glory days or some shit. But I just never really watched anime when I was younger. I mean, I watched animated cartoons, but not like Japanese style anime.
What about Pokemon? Did you watch Pokemon?
A little bit, but and this is
that
going
was
to be
anime,
another
dog.
topic we talk about, but I actually watched Digimon a little bit more than that.
Oh,
because I liked it better.
yes, that was
here
going to
we
be the
go.
next topic, was Pokemon versus
Yes.
Digimon. So, yeah, do you
Okay.
want to start that off? You're a Digimon boy? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so I liked
You're one of
Digimon
those
a little
kids.
bit better. Yeah, I don't know what it was, but like I liked Digimon a little bit more. I mean, from what I like saw of it, because I didn't watch it all. Like I wasn't like engrossed in it when I was younger. But I don't know. It was something about like, they're super tiny and they're cute and they can like climb on your shoulder and shit. And then it's like,
Not all of
it's
them.
time to fight another one. They just get like big. And like, there's one that's like a rhino or something shit like that, or one that looks like a T-Rex, and he was like the most popular or some shit. But,
That's the only one I
dude,
can think of is the orange
the orange
T-Rex.
one. Yeah.
The only ones I remember are that one, and then the one that's like an angel woman that's like hot.
Yeah.
The one that's just like a little angel like slime, and then all of a sudden becomes
No,
like
no,
a
no,
woman?
no.
No? Okay, I have no
Well,
idea.
I don't know
then.
if it's actually. You know what? I think you
Can
might
you put
be
it
right,
up on the
that it's like a
screen
slime
right
Yeah,
now?
or whatever.
I think he's right.
Anyways, the hot woman phase, I approve of that.
Yeah. So Pokemon must have taken like a play out of their book with Gardevoir, because I feel like Gardevoir and what's her name, Lopunny, are like the most like Rule 34 like Pokemon that like exist in the space.
Oh yeah.
Apparently.
But those are more like furry, like they're not like human. Like
Sure,
the
but like
Digimon chick was like a human.
really, she was like a straight up like humanoid.
She looks like a human in like an angel like top and like angel wings, but she's like a human.
and she's a Digimon. That's
Humanoid.
trippy.
And she's a
as fuck.
Digimon, yeah.
Okay. Would you say there's a lot of Rule 34 for that Digimon?
Probably.
Probably.
Somebody look that shit up.
No.
I'm on the screen right here.
I mean, I might have to look after this episode just to like see what you're talking about.
18 plus disclaimer now.
I actually
I know,
had one
right?
of the Digimon like handhelds. Did you guys ever have any of those?
Like the Tamagotchi.
Yeah, it
The
Digimon
Tamagotchis,
thing?
Yeah,
but it was
yeah.
actually Digimon Tamagotchi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that shit
Yeah, I
was
had
dope.
one of those.
So I was a Pokemon guy. Pokemon was the shit in my school
can-
at the time. I think it
What
was
do you
about.
mean was?
Well, I mean, I don't know what schools are like now, motherfucker.
No, I
Fortnite
mean,
and Minecraft.
you're saying you were a Pokemon guy. What do you mean, like?
No,
you
no,
were?
yeah,
You
yeah,
still are,
okay,
you
yeah.
fuck.
I'm still a Pokemon guy, but in terms of like at being a kid and stuff too, like, yeah, Pokemon came out. I think I was like 7 years old. I think I was like in first or second grade, and that was the poppin' thing. I had gotten my Game Boy for Christmas with Pokemon. I think it was Blue. And then the cards came out, and everybody's bringing them to school. One of my best friends, was the one kid in school who had the Charizard.
Yep.
So he shows up on campus and he's flexing off his Charizard and shit like that. But yeah, Digimon. As far as I got to, it was like a few episodes on the anime, and I actually really loved my little Digimon. Tamagotchi, so that thing lasted forever.
Yeah.
Okay.
So not to hate on you, Chance, but so Tokes made a good point where it's like when it comes to Pokemon, it wasn't just like the Mons. Like the games were really solid. The card
yeah.
game was really solid and
Oh,
still
yeah.
is.
I'm not denying that at all. Like literally, me and Max just did a fucking run through of Pokemon Revolution Online. Like what was that? Like a month ago.
Yeah.
And it like made me relive my childhood because I played the Pokemon games a little bit. I never understood them. Like I never knew any like the techniques or strategies or whatever, and like type differences and what weaknesses and strengths there are and stuff. And
you played with a lot of
P-
ignorance in your heart. That's what happened.
Oh, yeah.
And now you've lived on and you
Ignorant.
played it as an adult.
You just have to
and
believe in
conquered.
your Pokemon.
Did you
honestly.
ever beat the Elite
You gotta
Four?
believe.
Did you finish that part?
Yeah. Oh wait,
Oh, you
no,
did?
no, I never finished the final
The Elite
Four. Or whatever.
Okay, well
Yeah,
that's
I never finished.
I
them.
need to see the video of you finishing it. That's on the list.
That's like saying you're a virgin.
Shut up, Justin. You
Fudge.
never even got to
Fudge.
the first fucking gym. Fuck you.
That's
Fudge.
true. That's so true.
Yeah, bitch.
You were playing
you're
with
talking
me.
about in the
I
other
even
game.
started a new account, and you couldn't even keep up with me. Come on, guy.
That's a good point.
So what about
do
you,
call it?
Cam? Were you Pokemon or were you Digimon?
Well, I would say I'm kind of in the same boat as Chance, not with being more Digimon, but in being the fact that like I was young. I'm pretty much the youngest out of all you guys.
I was a child.
Yeah, when I was a kid, Pokemon was a little bit more developed, but I got the very first gaming console I ever had as a kid was a Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, so you
And-
were a third gen kid, as we like to call.
So I guess.
Was third gen black and white?
Third gen. No, that's Ruby and Sapphire, dog.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't
So-
remember which one I had, but I had a Pokemon game on there, and same thing like Chance said, like I played it and I thought it was fun, but I didn't fucking understand what I was doing. But then growing up, my cousin, who I used to hang out with all the time, he was a Digimon head. So like me having Pokemon on my Game Boy and him having Digimon on his, we'd like show up at my grandparents' house for like Thanksgiving or some shit, and I'd be playing Pokemon, he'd be playing Digimon, and I'd look at him like, bitch.
Bitch.
Literally, and he's like, no, Digimon's better, and I'm like, no, Pokemon's better.
So the
I
interesting thing,
remember-
though,
So
the interesting thing that I want to say though is, what?
Pause.
What?
Okay, this
Okay.
has to be said. So I will say I actually owned. I'm like fairly certain there's a Digimon movie. There's probably multiple of them, but there's
There is a
one
Digimon
certain
movie.
where it's like ingrained in the back of my mind. There's this song. I don't know what it is or if it's even the
It's
right
less than
one.
Jake. I know, I can find it for you.
I think I
I
know
know
what you're talking
exactly
about.
one.
Yeah,
It's
because
punk song.
they're like going through this like I think it's like a cyber tunnel or something like that, and these Digimon are like weak as hell, or like they're
Yeah, you're talking
or
about the
something
first
like
movie.
that.
The first
Yeah, I
movie
think it was
had
the first
a
movie.
pretty
didn't
good
see any of
soundtrack.
the movies. I feel left out.
Dude, yeah, like I remember I used to play that snippet because I thought the song was so cool. Like I'm like 6 or 7 years old, and I used to like dance around the couch like to the song, and then when the song was over, I would repeat it. And my granddad's sitting over in his chair. Like, this is at my grandma's house. My grandpa was sitting over in his chair smoking a cigar, just saying, "Can you turn that shit off already?" or something like that. I'm just like, no.
That's too funny.
So
But
one
what
thing
I was gonna say is,
yeah. Sorry.
when it comes to Digimon, I would say the anime is its strongest point. When it comes to Pokemon, I would say the anime is its weakest point.
Okay.
I would say all the other stuff
Eh.
kind of holds up a lot better.
Yeah, I guess so, because I never made it past like whatever it was, Gen 1, technically.
Okay.
in,
And
like,
when it comes to the Pokemon
series.
anime, it's just the same shit over and over again.
Yeah.
It's like Team Rocket, blah blah blah. Next
Well,
episode.
I mean, I guess I do remember Team Rocket having like Wobbuffet at some point. So yeah, I guess they were pretty. But I mean, eventually they switched over to different characters and stuff, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Because it's
There are
not
some
just
different.
It wasn't just Ash. I remember specifically there was somebody else named May. Did she have to
Yep.
deal with like Team Rocket with like Jesse and fucking James? Like, was that like a
So
staple?
May was the replacement for Misty.
Oh, she wasn't just like
third gen.
Ash. Ash is still like the leading character
Yes,
Yes.
bro.
Yeah.
for
And he's
every
still 10 years
generation. Are
old.
you fucking serious? I thought there was at least one
Yes.
other like protagonist.
I thought there was one too where Ash just
He
wasn't
gets
in it.
different
I think
sidekicks,
he made like
but
I think he made like
it's
an
still Ash.
appearance.
But
in one of
literally
them.
every single episode of Pokemon is an Ash like protagonist, like
pretty
episode?
much, unless it's like a spin-off show.
That's trippy. I didn't know that. Okay. I did see on Netflix that there was like a Pokemon, whatever it was, like with Ash specifically, and I was like, oh, maybe this is like a new season with Ash involved, but I didn't know it was like continually sticking with Ash through all these seasons. God damn.
And it's
This
kind of
is-
the same thing every season because it's like, all right, he does the gym badges, he does the championship. In the case of Ash, I think he's only won like once. Like every season, he loses the championship at the end, with the exception of like one time, which is
Yeah,
dumb.
I think
That's hilarious.
This past year, Ash finally won.
Yeah, exactly. But that was
in
like the
most
only time.
recent anime, yeah, and he finally did it, and it was like huge Pokemon news. But I'm sitting here thinking, damn, bro, it's been 30 years, and you're still 10 years old.
Yeah.
And you still
I hate
losing
when
in
they don't
tournaments?
like
Yeah, man. I'd say another big anime that I watched when I was younger that really like kind of sparked my interest, and it wasn't even Digimon, it was Yu-Gi-Oh. Like that
we go.
show
Yep.
was the shit, dude. That
That show was
actually
hype.
dude, yeah, that show actually got me to like buy the cards. And like my parents even got me the dual disc or whatever they were called
Oh.
for Christmas.
You
Dude,
know, those
I would
go
take
for a
that
shitload on eBay
Virgin.
now.
Dude, yeah, like I used to take that shit to school, and then like a couple of my other friends had them, and then my dad, like it was something with like, I don't know, I think it was the way I was raised to where it's like I thought like I was raised to think that stuff was for like weirdos who weren't gonna get anywhere in life. Yet here I am, and
I feel
my
attacked.
parents, shut up. Well, no, it's like my parents raised me in a way that was like, you don't trust me. You don't want to be that weird kid at school because you're going to get singled out. You're going to get bullied. And then you're not. And then, it's just going to be like a fucking domino effect. And no one's going to like you. And then you're going to start doing bad in school and all this other stuff. So go hang out, like go try to make friends with the popular kids and everything will be la-di-dotty. Everybody's fine. And little did I know, I tried to do that. And I ended up becoming good friends with pretty much like everybody in my school except for a couple. And I still fucking ended up like failing half of my classes and ended up going to a continuation high school. And it was great. But, but yeah, my parents were really the ones, like the big driving force. And I hate to say it now because I'm completely like free of them, because I'm fucking 26 now. But it just kind of sucks because I wasn't able to really dive deep into it when I was younger, and I would have this knowledge that like a lot of you guys have now. You know what I mean?
And you do have kind of like the most outsider perspective of anime. Like when it comes to the rest of us three, we've dug down into the lewd rabbit hole.
Yeah, you guys have your purple heart in anime.
We've got our purple heart in hentai.
I was gonna say, thank you, Justin. Yes.
Our license to be horny has been certified.
We have like purple hearts and hentai.
The
what do you get for having like 3 purple hearts for anime? Like that's the equation, like right there.
Go to horny jail.
Bonk, go to horny jail.
I fucking love that meme.
We embrace the horny.
I actually got that the other day. I'm not gonna lie. There was a Twitch girl and she had a link and I was like, ooh. And it said, "Bunk, go to horny jail," and I was like, "Oh, they got me. they got old Tokes."
Damn.
God damn. Nut in the distance.
But
I love
it just kind of sucks that it's like there's so many good shows that I like didn't have the opportunity to watch when I was younger.
Sometimes, Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say let's roll this along because that's a good point too. So, I remember watching anime as a kid on Toonami, and then for some reason, I just stopped. I just stopped watching it, and for like a good, I would say almost 10 years. So I was probably around 16, 17. I just didn't watch anime. And I didn't really think anything of it either. I didn't think it was going to be good until I met a good friend of mine that I was going to school with, and he was a huge anime nerd. And I was totally cool with it, but I wasn't really necessarily being influenced by him. It was just what he liked. Until curiosity killed me again. I said, what are you watching right now? And he said, Naruto. And I said, well, I remember Naruto watching it as a kid. That shit's still going. And he's like, yeah, bro, it's in Shippuden now, and it's like halfway through. And I'm like, well, I don't know what Shippuden means, but that's cool. So then I got curious. I'm like, well, maybe I should give it another chance and start over from the beginning. And this is when Netflix was still pretty much like just starting out on streaming. One of the very first anime to come to Netflix was Naruto.
Yep.
So I got back into it.
I had the same kind of situation where it's like, all right, like when I'm a kid, like I'm watching it just because it's like, it's what's on TV, I don't know any better, and it's cool. Yeah. And then like you have your teenage years and you kind of just like following the crowd, being emo for some of you, I know.
Oh,
and
and
then when you become more of an adult, able to like look up your own shit and like discover series and just watch them. For me, that's when I got like back into anime heavy. So I'm kind of the same way, whereas like I watched it and then I didn't, and then now I'm into it. And then now that I'm an adult, you got the lewd shit too. That's all
it's all you need, this man said.
I'm not
That's
gonna
all
lie.
you need.
I got
women?
caught looking at hentai when I was like 16 years old. Yeah, and it wasn't even like they walked in the door and caught me watching it. It was like my mom had my aunt like search the computer for what I had like watched and stuff like that. And then my parents called me out for watching it. And I was like, yeah. I was looking at Misty hentai. What of it?
Anime titties. You know the vibes.
Hey, everybody, like, no joke, literally every person in this world can always enjoy just a sweet pair of anime titties.
You can.
Yeah.
I'd
calm down, son. It's just a drawing.
I saw a meme today. Of, okay. You guys know the shot.
I got that motherfucker.
you guys know the shot from Breaking Bad of like the big security guard dude laying on the pile of money?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I saw a picture of that today, but it said like Japan after inventing anime titties, and then they just have all this money.
Ah, that's a good one. I thought it was gonna be like a Photoshop of him like laying on a pair of titties.
On anime titties.
Yeah, I know, right?
That would
I
be
don't know.
even better, dude.
Somebody please do that for me. So Cameron, what's your guilty pleasure anime?
Yeah, I know.
Oh wow. That's so hard to say.
Is it that hard to
Psych.
say? Or are you just embarrassed? Or the other
Yeah.
option, you can't think of anything.
No, I can think of a few, and that's why I'm like trying to decide which one really would be the guilty pleasure, because what defines guilty pleasure?
Okay, it's something that
Is
you
it supposed to be hated?
No, okay, not necessarily hated, but let's say it's not necessarily considered like a
It's not a
good
10.
show. Yeah, it's not considered a 10 of 10 in most circles.
Okay. If it's
Like-
not considered,
It's something that's like a little trashy, maybe. but
Yeah,
you still like
it's
it
almost
anyway.
like Jersey Shore. Like it's just
Jersey
like
Shore.
you enjoy it for the drama. And I hated Jersey Shore, but I had friends that were like, "Yeah, I just watch it for the drama or whatever." Like, but that's not me. But I can understand where that is like a guilty
toxic.
pleasure for for
That's
for
super
me
toxic.
specifically, it's either Heaven's Lost Property, which is like a fan service show, or it's Aramanga Sensei, which is like another like fan service kind of show. Both
Never even
are
heard of both of
considerably
those.
trash, but I enjoy them nonetheless.
well, I don't know if it would be considered trash, but I'll get into two. So the first one would be Soul Eater.
Yeah,
Because
I don't think
I
that's
feel
no. You
as
can't say
though
that's a
Soul
guilty
Eater
pleasure. That's
It
like
is a 50-50. It's a hit and miss. You either like it or you don't. And it hurts to me to hear people not like it because I love it. And I guess to me that's my guilty pleasure, because I'm not joking when I say this. I have watched Soul Eater start to finish at least 50 times.
goddamn. Well, it's only what
5-0.
How many episodes is it?
It's like 56 episodes, I think.
Okay, 50 times.
Not too long. Yeah, 50 times.
So that's like 200. A lot. That's a lot.
That's a lot
Because
of free.
I got-
That's a lot of free masturbation time, my guy.
It's like 2,500 something.
Well,
fucking
here's the thing.
episodes.
Like, I got to a point where I'd watched like shorter animes, and I wasn't really getting into long animes. I was watching Naruto, but I was already caught up with it. So then I'd binge watch an anime, finish it, and I'd be like, I don't know what to watch. Soul Eater. And I just put it on, and then of course, if I'm restarting it, I'm like, God, why am I fucking doing this to myself? And then I'm 3 episodes in again, and I'm like, I love it. So, to me at least, like, in my stupid manic ass, that's my own guilty pleasure.
Okay,
Because
I
I
can
know
understand
that there's so much else out there, and yet I always just,
Just keep going back
Pull
to
it
the
up.
same thing.
yeah, I keep going back.
But
second
what's the other one?
The second one, getting into the lewd fan service,
Yes.
would be either Data Live or High School DxD.
Ooh,
I'm gonna go with
High School
DxD.
DxD. That's
I'm
on my
only
list.
going with DxD because if you look right behind me,
That's right.
got
You have a
Chronicle on the wall.
a scroll, huh?
yep.
That's what's up. High School DxD was the shit. I'm not gonna lie.
But like minus the titties and everything aside, that show actually had a really good storyline.
It was like the perfect like mix between like a good storyline and anime titties.
It's the perfect combination.
Here's another like
I
I guess
recommend.
guilty pleasure show is Interspecies Reviewers. Did you guys ever watch that one?
I'm familiar with it. I haven't seen it yet, but I know it's
You're
very
kidding me. Okay, so
in
this is
that realm.
basically, when it comes down to it, this is like hentai in anime form. Like, they push the boundaries to where like there you can either watch it censored or uncensored.
Oh no.
And uncensored, the most you're gonna see is anime titties. That's about it. Like, they're not gonna go much further than that. But like uncensored, they just or censored, they just blur it. But literally, this aired on what's the anime websites? Not Crunchyroll, the other one. Funimation. So this aired on Funimation. Funimation picked this show up. They dubbed this show, and then immediately after like putting it up, they got so much backlash for it being so ecchi
I remember
that they
hearing about
like
that, yeah.
took it down off the website. And so it was up to one fellow like a YouTuber who went out of his way to like draw his whole army to go onto my anime list and rate it a 10 out of 10 just to like fuck over Funimation and say like, yeah, you took down a show that's literally the #1 rated on my anime list now. Like, fuck you.
What YouTuber was it?
Funimation.
The Anime
And
Man?
it did. It like literally got up to like the top of my anime list, like as a meme. But in all reality, it's a pretty good show. And the whole premise of it is like these certain it's like an isekai where they like, well, not an isekai, but it's like a fantasy world where there's like elves and orcs and all this stuff. And these group of guys basically go around to all the different brothels that are owned by different races. So they'll go to like the elves brothel and go like try it out and then rate them. So they'll be like, the elves, we'll give them a 10 out of 10 because they're super hot and super busty. Like, this is the whole entire show. It's just them going around fucking girls and giving a rating like what they believed in. So it's my anime list for literal brothels. It's amazing. It's the best show.
What's this show called? I'm just asking.
It's called Interspecies Reviewers.
I need that link.
Yeah, I'm surprised you guys haven't heard of it.
Cameron's gonna need that link in the.
It became a
meme,
but it honestly became like a show where it's like got fan service, anime titties, but it also has like a decent story where you're like, holy shit, there's like a whole dichotomy to like what's going on. Like, it's really good. I'm not gonna lie.
Based on the reactions, I think this episode is gonna kill Chance.
I can't wait to see the Chance edits after this.
Yeah, Interspecies Reviewers.
Yeah, fuck you, Justin.
I'm
your
gonna zoom
goddamn
in.
Chance edits.
I'm zooming in right now.
Another one that was.
What about Justin?
Yeah.
So-
Justin, I'm sorry,
For
I did
me-
cut you off.
For me, when it comes to like the guilty pleasure stuff, I'm all about like animes with just like cute girls doing cute things. Just like, so there's like a
man of
couple different
culture.
ones. So there's this one guilty pleasure show I like called Love Lab, which is just like,
I've heard of it.
it's like it's like this middle school or maybe high school girl that's just like teaching her friends how to like get a boyfriend, even though she doesn't have one herself. Basically, she's like lying her way through it, and like I just like
faking
the
it till
cute
she
animation.
makes it.
What's that?
She's faking it till she makes it.
Exactly, yeah. But I just like the cute girls, like doing
The
cute
moe.
things and making cute jokes.
Kawaii.
And exactly. Let's see here. There's another one called Yuyushiki, which is kind of like a comedy anime with again just some random cute girls, and they just make stupid jokes. Let's see what else we got. So I have one guilty pleasure that's like a lewd one because it's kind of weird. It's called Mysterious Girlfriend X.
I've never heard of it.
That's a weird
So
name.
Mysterious Girlfriend X, it has a very lewd like main concept, which I think would put most people off. So like, how do I explain it and not sound weird? So this guy,
Just let it rip, buddy.
so this guy, there's this new girl in the class, or maybe she isn't a new girl, but there's just this girl in the class, and she's like sleeping at her desk, right? Like her head on the desk. And it's like after school hours. She slept through the whole class and everything like that. He wakes her up. She goes home. And her drool is still on the desk. And for some fucking reason.
Oh, I've seen the meme of this.
And for some fucking reason.
Yes.
He takes the fucking drool and he eats it. I warned you. I warned you, Tokes. You're looking at it. I warned you. And, so he does that, right? And he's like, why did I do that? Okay. And then cut to like a couple days later, he's all of a sudden he's really sick. And like he's just in bed all throughout the week. So this girl comes to his house and she's like, oh yeah, you're just having an allergic withdrawal because like you need my drool or whatever. So here's more. And then they become boyfriend and girlfriend, and she's a very weird chick, and it's kind of about that weird relationship, and I like it, even though it's weird as fuck.
And I like it.
So there's my.
I'm not one to
anime.
judge.
It's
but
funny
that's
too because
fucking weird.
it's funny too because I considered that as like a recommendation for Chance to watch, and then I thought about it, and I was like,
Fuck you, guy.
no, I shouldn't.
No.
It's a good anime though. It's okay, it's not a good anime, but it's like interesting.
I'm gonna
fuck
admit
you.
right here and now, this premise, the only thing that comes close that I've ever seen, which is like far out of left field, is like Euphoria.
Oh, you want to talk about Euphoria?
No, I don't want to talk about Euphoria.
No.
Wait,
but
what?
I mean,
That's one of
the
them, too.
juxtaposition of like literally like everything else I've seen in this one anime you're talking about, where it's just like, I need your spit or else I'm going to go through withdrawals.
Yeah.
It's literally like
every night
the
to my
next
wife.
thing over is like Euphoria for me. That is literally right next to Euphoria. I know there's a big difference. There's a huge gap.
Okay.
But out of everything that I've seen, that's right next to it.
I'm sorry.
Euphoria over here
is one of
This-
mine.
What's this
as
called
well.
again?
Euphoria is one of mine as well.
That's another one.
I've
Oh
never seen
god.
it.
No, we cannot talk about Euphoria.
All right, all right.
Oh, boo.
So to answer your question, the name of the anime is Mysterious Girlfriend X.
Mysterious Girlfriend X. Okay. Chance, do you have any guilty pleasure animes that you'd like to talk
Yes.
about?
There's two of them.
Okay.
The first one is called Citrus. My wife and I watch it together. It's about it's about
You
this
watched
girl.
it together.
Yeah, we watched it together. And it's like kind of awkward, but I mean, it's like all right.
Fill
But
me
it's
in. I don't know what
buddy.
citrus is.
Yeah, so it's about this girl. I think we're only on like episode 5 or something like that. But this girl, like her mom marries some like school board guy or whatever, and they move towns. And she like didn't want to move away from all her friends. Like all of us, if we ever moved from town to town, you know, when we were younger, we never want to move because you're not going to see your friends again, like all this other stuff. And she ends up going to this like all girls school because she wanted to like get a boyfriend and all this other stuff, and she wanted to make a good first impression. Well, she shows up to school in this like short skirt and like pink fucking shirt and like all this other stuff, and all the girls are wearing like a school uniform.
All
And
preppy.
It's pretty much just a girls' prep school, right? And she's like, what the heck? And she ends up like meeting the like school president or the like student president or whatever. And this like student president ends up like feeling her up for like to try to find her phone or something like that. It's like super raunchy. And like me and my wife like looked at each other like,
See, that's what I'm
Yeah.
really hoping for. I'm really hoping for you and your wife to be more acceptive of the lewd and watch shit like
Yeah, I feel like
Shokugeki no
Hey,
Soma.
I
you.
feel
Food
like
Wars.
that brings like a
Food Wars
tighter
is the
bond.
perfect introduction to that.
Yeah, it's
Like, trust me, you will get all the recipes for amazing food in the world from Food Wars. Who cares if
No,
they jizz over the
we've
food?
tried
Who
we've
cares?
tried
Who
Food
cares?
Wars
It's
with
amazing.
Chance. We've tried Food
No.
Wars with Chance. It does not work.
I would watch it. I would
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
it. My
It's
wife
fine for
will
him.
not watch that.
Okay, I can't blame you for that.
No. The one you were talking about earlier, not Food Wars, I feel like that would be something a little bit more like spicier for a couple. If they could kind of like, maybe take on these roles, like role play kind of thing. That seems a little bit spicy.
Max, stay out of my sex
The
life.
Girlfriend X one that you were talking about. The
Oh,
Girlfriend X.
I'm like,
No,
But
that I don't recommend.
bro.
I'm just saying, compared to Food Wars, there's not really much you can like compare. You know what I mean? It's like, what are you gonna make me some food, and I'm just gonna like strip into the fucking kitchen
Some
because you
fucking
made
gnarly
me
ass
some
like
awesome
orgasmic
spaghetti
meal.
or
It's
whatever.
goofy.
You know?
It's goofy.
No. But I can understand a little bit more about like the swapping spit or whatever.
You haven't seen it. You haven't seen it.
No, this is true. But you said this was a guilty pleasure anime that you were going to recommend. Chance, you're making it seem a little bit more crazier than I'm explaining it. What are you talking about?
Well, I think the spit one is more crazy than the Food Wars, because the Food Wars is just goofy. Like,
Yeah, but
they're just
I'm
like,
talking about no. I'm talking about like role play kind of shit, like stuff you can watch with your wife. Like, yeah, you can watch the food stuff, on
Chance
fucking
is face
Food
palming so
War.
hard.
Yeah, he's wiping his face. He's like, what am I getting into now?
Look at him.
I love Food Wars. Don't get me
He
wrong.
hates this
I haven't seen the
conversation.
other
Okay,
shows, so I don't know.
Think about this. I've seen both completely, so I know what I at least both of them. Don't watch the spit one. Watch Food Wars. That's
He's
my
already
recommendation.
tried Food Wars. He's not gonna.
Well,
Yeah, it's
I
fine.
might try to watch it on
He
my
can't
own,
get
but
over.
I'm
He
it's
can't
not
get over
something that-
the nudity, the bursting nudity of Food Wars. Where I feel like after you've seen
Hey,
like
that
literally.
food looks good as fuck.
Literally,
though, bro.
after
That food
you've
is good
seen
as
like
fuck.
7 episodes of Food Wars, you completely forget that they're fucking naked half the time or like orgasming. It's just so normal.
Because you're just thinking like, damn, what's he gonna cook next?
I love Food Wars. They make so much good food.
Yep. Agreed.
Somebody's about to go to horny jail.
Yeah, no, that's me. Honestly, that show is like horny jail, like incarnated. Like Miku. Do you know who Miku is? She's the American.
Yeah.
The one with the huge
yeah.
tits, who's blonde and who's good with the meat and shit.
Of course she's good.
Yeah,
with me.
she's my favorite for sure, easily.
I like the shy girl with the blue hair.
Megumi.
Megumi.
Yeah, Megumi.
She's based.
Goomy.
Anyways,
She's cool. She's really like, yeah.
She's not.
Okay, we're moving on.
anyways, so yeah,
Literally.
so citrus is one of my guilty pleasures right now that me and my wife watched like the first 5 episodes of it, but it was like I said, we both looked at each other like, what? We looked at each other like with like, just, I don't even know. It was just the instance of, okay, wait, what the fuck is going on? Because what happens is the student body president that like was like feeling her up and shit happens to be her mom's new husband's like daughter. So that's now her like stepsister, and she like, they move into a room together and she like pins her on the floor and like kisses her, and I'm like, what? Like, what the fuck am I
Looks over to
watching?
wife.
Yeah, I know. Like we both looked at each other like, okay, all right.
Spicy.
But yeah, so that's my first guilty pleasure. But then my second guilty pleasure, which is also something I watch with my wife, more or less for her, because she's into like Pusheen and like the Squishmallows and stuff like that. But it's
The
called
who and the what?
Banana. And,
Banana.
yeah, banana. Yeah, it's like there's like no talking between. So what banana is? Before I go any further, so it's these fucking cats that are bananas, and they just have adventures. It's great. It's like an adult for me. It's like me reliving my days of like Hamtaro and like stuff like that. So like it kind of hits home. And I like the worst part is like I'm sitting there and I'm like, why the fuck am I enjoying this? You know,
because it's fun.
Yeah, and it's like my wife will like point out different like cat like bananas or whatever, and she'll be like, I like that one. That one's my favorite. And then the next episode, she'll be like, no, I like that one. That one's my favorite. And I'm like, am I living with a 12-year-old? But yeah, so Banana is definitely another guilty pleasure of mine, just because I watch it with my wife. And while I'm thinking about it, so I was talking how she likes Pusheen and like the Squishmallows. One thing that I noticed in our second episode is one of our very own, Justin, actually owns a Squishmallow.
You do? You do?
Are you talking about the dog pillow?
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
No.
I didn't
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Sticky. Uh-oh.
what?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know
Wait,
that
what?
dog pillow when we were talking about like how we lay, how you have that fucking dog pillow?
Yeah.
That is, his name is like Peter the Pug. Like
Oh.
these Squishmallows
No,
are a
it's a thing
huge
right now.
thing on TikTok right now.
Cameron, are you feeling
Really?
like I'm feeling right now?
Yeah, bro. I don't know if he paused for that long or like.
We just.
I don't know if he
We were
froze
stuck in a
out of
moment.
computer shit or like he just waited for us to like. I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta go. I'm tripping out.
For the record, I have my feet. I was using him to rest my feet on, so he's right here.
Oh,
Like it looked like you lost internet connection, but it was so smooth in the way it happened, and when you came back, like you just went back to talking. It looked like you were just frozen, and me and Tokes were just looking at you like, "What?"
what?
That's why I was
didn't
like,
catch that. I don't
"Uh
even know if it came up on the footage.
oh." Yeah, me and Tokes were
come
like
up.
linked. Our brains were fucking linked.
So
He's still
true.
fucking
It's
laughing.
so true. The transition between you being frozen and you talking was so smooth
It was
that
just
it was
so
like,
smooth.
wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Did you
No,
fake
like,
that,
how
or was
long
that
was
like
it?
literally internet lag?
Like
Because,
10 seconds.
Oh
yeah,
no! I
you-
sat there like
you
this,
froze, and then you went on to talking, and we were like, "What the fuck? Wait, what?"
I'll have to look back at Tokes' footage because I don't know what the fuck y'all are talking
Oh
about.
yeah,
that's-
no,
that's
it was
funny.
it was
You'll see it.
beautiful. It was
Clusterfuck
fucking
going on.
You'll
beautiful.
see it.
Anywho,
Oh god.
Yeah, Justin actually owns a Squishmallow, and the funny part is my wife already like knew the name of it or whatever.
Are
His
they
name's, like,
popular?
Peters
Can I
or
like
something
can I
that.
like sell it on eBay for like $100?
There's like 1,000 of them, bro.
Resale.
Oh, dude, there's so fucking many of them, but like certain ones are like rare, like they're super hard to find, and you can sell them for like $80-$90. Like you probably got that one for like $26, right?
I probably less.
Okay, yeah, because I think that's like a 16-inch or whatever. Yeah, there's like different sizes and
16.
shit. Hey, fuck you. But there's like different sizes and stuff, and like people collect them. Like there's literally a fucking cult on TikTok that make TikToks called Squish Talk because it's all about Squishmallows or whatever the fuck they're called. Yeah, like I literally took
yeah.
my wife out for Valentine's Day to go Squishmallow hunting, and we went to like every Walgreens within like a 50-mile fucking radius. Like,
Wow. I
Yeah.
mean, I just liked the pillow. What do you call it?
oh, dude, hey, I will say they're super comfy to fucking lean on.
Lean
They're
back.
okay. They're not that great.
Anywho,
You guys know what a Dakimakura is?
isn't
It's
that one
a-
of
it's a
those,
body
like,
pillow.
like, body pillows that has
Yes,
like
sir.
like a waifu on it?
You can
I
get
want one.
lewd
I want
ones.
one so bad.
You can get some lewd ones that have naked girls on them.
There's a website for it, right? Like a specific website for Dakimakuras?
I don't know.
I mean, there's all kinds of websites.
No. Well,
I
I
don't
saw
have
one
one,
that
I
was
wouldn't
like
know.
the website where it was like 1,000 different dockies that you can get, and there was like 3 of each character. You know, well, obviously there was the 2 for each side, one for each side. But look, I have a body pillow. I have one just like for my bed, and I was like, dude, I can get like a fucking just
You
a
can get
cover,
the cover
for it.
How
Yeah.
much? How much do you guys want to bet? There's a hole at the bottom of that thing with a sandwich bag and Vaseline.
We lost money on that bet.
Yeah. How much were you willing to bet?
Hey, come on, Tokes is lonely, man. Roger's fucking
Hey,
everybody.
Personally,
I may
never
not
saw
have
the
a
appeal
wife, but shit.
Dude, I'm fucked, bro.
Never saw the appeal.
of those kind of pillows. It's like,
Me
okay,
neither.
it's just a
Really?
pillow.
Yes.
Like I wouldn't want to like hug it. Like who?
Yeah, like I don't sleep like that either. Like I'm a fucking bear when I sleep, and I roll
Dude.
around a lot.
Dude, yeah.
So I just need a fucking big bed with a lot of open space. If there's a pillow that big blocking me, I'm not gonna sleep well.
Don't
Okay,
get a
so
dog.
so
That's just
so my
me. Don't
get a dog.
reasoning for having it is my dog likes to sleep on my bed, literally right next to my head. So I have that pillow as like a barrier. Like I put that next to us, so he sleeps on the other side, and I sleep on that side. So for
Makes
me,
sense.
it's like a necessity, just because he'll roll over and do all kinds of shit if I don't have it, or we'll both roll into the middle to the point where it's like I gotta fucking wake up and move his ass. So that's the whole reason for having it. But there's another thing. Some of the characters, they actually come with their own scents, like a different, like
That's
a
just
spray.
That's just fucking weird.
So
like,
if you get the Dakimakura for certain characters, sometimes they'll have like a scent. Like, so, you know, some of the girls will have like a perfume or like a big bottle spray that you can spray on it, so you can get that like girlfriend smell or whatever. You know what I mean?
get one of Sasha from Attack on Titan. She'll smell like potatoes.
Or
Yeah.
anyways,
Kaboom.
I haven't gotten to that part yet.
Take my money.
the next topic was, have you ever seen JoJo, and do you like it?
Nope.
I did not like it. I made it to probably season 2, and I just could not stick around with it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get that far. I only like watched like maybe like 10 episodes. I see why people like it. I get it. But it's a bit much.
In what way?
Yeah, what do you mean? What do you mean a bit much?
Because
so,
anime
like-
itself is a bit much.
That's true. But I don't know. It's just so dramatic, and like the fighting is weird to me and not very, I don't know. It's not predictable in kind of like a weird way. So
Okay.
it's okay. Like one day I might watch more of it, but I'm not crazy about it.
I
Phase
wanted
it.
to watch it. I wanted to watch it for the memes, and I just could not get into it.
Well, it's like the classic, like, oh, just keep watching. Season 4, it gets really good. It's like, okay, well,
I can understand
That
that on
4 is
some
a big number.
on some level though, but for this, it took too long to where I couldn't stand it anymore.
I get it.
What about you,
was-
Cam?
I was
You
gonna
seem
say-
you seem like you want to really like speak up on this, because what did you feel? How did you feel about JoJo?
So, JoJo is a very weird anime, right? I
Yeah.
get it. It's weird for the astringent purpose of being weird, and that's why I like it.
No, that's
It
that's
says
true.
it in the fucking title that it's
Bizarre
JoJo's
Adventure.
Bizarre Adventures.
Yeah,
It's not in any of the realm of
anime that exists. And when it came out, it's an older anime. It came out in the early 90s. This fucking
didn't know
anime, when it first came out, was kind of indicative of the era that it came out in, too. So it's got that older vibe for sure. But the fact that they've kept up with it and like keep continuing it still is awesome, because the true story of like Jonathan Joestar is about the Joestar Bloodline and like how it trickles down, and how through the generations most of the time it's been Dio that's been fucking around and doing stupid shit, and then now that they finally killed Dio, spoiler alert, they're in a new generation though. And it's kind of like Boruto in a way of being a new generation, but their powers and like the stands that they have, they're like physical incarnates of their aura.
Is that what a
it
stan
translates.
is?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's their
I didn't
physical
understand what that
incarnation.
was. I've heard it a few times explained, but I couldn't wrap my head around it. But that makes more sense. It's more of a physical incarnate of a past character.
Kinda, yeah.
So it's creative and, exciting, but it's also it's an anime where you really feel the length. At least that's how I felt. Like it
Okay.
felt like kind of like a little bit of a slog to just like watch. It's like, all right, there's this stuff happening, but it's kind of long, That's how I felt about it.
You
It's
heard it here,
long.
folks. Justin really
It
likes
does.
to feel the length.
Every day.
Every day. Oh,
I actually
so
think
yeah,
he was
then-
making a point for the opposite, but the joke was too funny.
JoJo. I feel too in the realm of JoJo still. Their costumes and the clothing that they wear.
Like the fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they
And
have some really awesome
JoJo,
fashion.
JoJo, at least being the fucking thought slayer he is, like he kind of has a very fashionable taste. And in a lot of JoJo, especially the newer seasons, the fashion like sense of all of the characters really, I think, was very well done.
The only
like
JoJo I know is the green monkey from Powerpuff Girls.
Mojo Jojo.
Mojo
Yeah.
JoJo.
Mojo JoJo.
Fucking Powerpuff Girls beat his ass like every single episode.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad.
Every single episode.
So
Yeah.
next topic is Evangelion. What are your thoughts? Because looking at
what
both
is that?
mine and Ernie's anime, my anime list, we've given it a 10 out of 10. Now, Faiza, let's see. Did you give it a 10 out of 10? Have you
don't
even
think-
seen it?
I don't think I put it on my anime list.
Okay.
However, I've seen it.
You have seen
I've
it.
s-
So is that
I've seen-
including the anime in the first movie or any of the movies in general?
I've seen the anime, the first movie, the second movie, and also the third one.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And your thoughts?
My interpretation of said anime, before we get into it, for the people who don't know, Neon Genesis Evangelion is by far one of the most iconic animes in existence. And
True.
if you go on Google right now, and I'm not joking, one of you can do this while we're streaming, type in what's the #1 anime of all time. Neon Genesis Evangelion comes up as #1.
I believe it.
It is also one of many people's starter animes. It's the very first anime they've ever seen.
That's a really weird starter anime, though.
That is a really
I-
weird starter anime.
I wouldn't
That,
recommend
that
it.
would be a weird
Same
one.
with Fooly Cooly. I know
I've
a lot
never
of people
seen
who
Fooly
first got
Cooly.
into anime with Fooly Cooly.
Huh.
That's more accessible, though. Plus,
I've
it's
never
only, like,
seen it.
A couple episodes.
You've never seen Fooly Cooly,
I've never seen Fooly Cooly.
bro. That's another like Neon Genesis Evangelion, not like type show, but how popular it is.
Gotcha.
Fooly Cooly. Anyway, back to Neon Genesis. Yeah, for me, my first watch through of the anime because I had to obviously go back and watch it again. My first watch through, I was very, very hooked because I like mech anime a lot, but in this one, if from the very get-go, you already know it's not about the mech. It's about Shinji, and you understand that from the beginning that it's gonna be about Shinji, and Shinji is gonna be the protagonist. But everything that he does is very relatable too. Maybe not jerking off over Asuka, but as a person, and like, he got thrown headlong into the end of the world by his piece of shit dad, and and he said, "Get in the fucking robot." And Shinji's like, "What the fuck are you talking about, bro? I've never seen a robot before in my life. I've never seen this underground facility you live in, and yet you're telling me to do this?" Like, you immediately understand from the very beginning he is up against a lot of shit that he can't say no to. So it's just fucked.
No anime really showcases that internal doubt and lack of self-confidence better than Neon Genesis. By the way, Chance, you should totally watch it. You'll be depressed within a week.
You will.
It sounds like my kind of time.
So, I like expanding on what Justin said. It's like, from watching anything up until this point, anime-wise, the juxtaposition of this versus anything else is greater than anything else you've ever seen. Only because in anything else, there's like this silver lining of like, everything's going to be good. Everything's going to end up all right. Even at the end of whatever episode, Naruto's going to finish it off, or Goku's going to finish it off, and the victor is going to be the good guys. Where in this one, it really feels like this very heavy despair, where like even Shinji, who's the protagonist, has all this self-doubt that you're not used to in a character who's like usually the protagonist. And so it gives you this like understanding of like anybody who would be put in this thrown into this position where you literally have to like pilot this mech just to like save the world, and your father is the one who's like in charge of all this. So not only are you trying to save the world, but you're trying to like gain your dad's acceptance. It really hits home to where you can kind of like understand how hard it is for Shinji to go through a lot of this trial. But also, when you're really young, you kind of see it as like this whiny anime protagonist where it's like, Shinji, come on, man, just get in the pilot and pilot that shit and beat the fuck out of it. You know what I mean? Like, be the Chad you're born to be, Shinji. But like,
get good.
Yeah, get good, Shinji. But once you've seen it again in like with like a different mindset where you truly understand the world, you start to understand like Shinji's plight really, between like gaining his father's acceptance and understanding who you are and the rights and wrongs of society and your morals, and just understanding the whole fucking nuances of the show. Really, it really takes more than one sitting through to understand. And then not only on top of that, but you have to watch the movies.
Absolutely.
So I've only seen the first movie, the end of Evangelion.
Yeah, that's all you really need to see to understand the whole picture. But the other movies are really good to kind of get this like new experience. And
but they're essentially remakes, aren't they? Like pretty much all of them.
They're all canon though. So the way that it works is these are all like basically alternative universes. Because there's a lot of times where either in the actual anime, there will be like a alternative universe where they're all in school, Rei, Asuka, and Shinji, you know, they're all going to school. It's like slice of life, basically, where it's not like a projection in Shinji's head. This is like an alternative universe that exists. And that also is canon with the movies. So not only is there like redo, which is like 1.0 or whatever, they introduce a new character into the actual like ending of Evangelion, or literally it's like the last 4 episodes or something up until the end, and they introduce a whole new character that didn't even exist in the anime and the first movie. And that really like puts this position of where it's like, this is literally the same exact things happening, but there's this new character. So you have to understand, okay, this is maybe just like a different alternative universe. But that's what all of these kind of go through. It's really crazy.
The defining thing for Evangelion for me, like the one key main thing that I would say like hits me the hardest is like the hedgehog's dilemma that they talk about, where it's like, if you get exactly Sanic. I don't know if you guys remember, like there's this thing that they talk about where it's like, if you get close to someone, like you hurt them and like they hurt you because of the spikes, you know, if you're a hedgehog. And they do that, they talk about that, and it's just like, you know, socially, like we're all just trying to get by, and we're all kind of depressed as hell, and it works so well. And then they put in that piano song, you know the one I'm talking about, that dun dun dun, you know, and then you're good to go. Depression porn is the best way to describe it.
The first time I watched it, I had that like existential like depression about
Hell
it.
yeah.
That's
the good shit.
But it was also like not understanding what had happened entirely. But the whole way that it like wraps up with like I can't explain the human.
You should watch this, Chance.
The human sacrifice, basically, where like it's basically the emergence. And at first, I didn't understand, to the point where I was like, "This is not the ending I wanted. This is disappointing. This is a downer." And then not until I had watched it like a second and third time did I really understand like the whole nuance of it. And it really hit me hard, because I would probably say the first time I watched it, I would probably gave it like a 7. You know, mech fights were awesome. Rei, Asuka, sick characters. Shinji, piece of shit. Whatever, I hated him. 7. Second time, third time watching it, it's like, holy shit, this is a fucking masterpiece. Like, yes, it's a very dark ending, but holy shit, could you have not wrote like a better fucking like experience?
Absolutely.
Holy
I think that's
shit.
what it is. It's not even an anime, it's an experience, bro.
It truly is.
One thing
have we convinced you, Chance?
Not really.
One thing I was gonna say, and to move away from this now, is
oh no, we can't move away before we watch the trailer.
Oh, for the third movie, yeah.
Or it's actually 3.0 plus 1.0, so it's like number 4 technically.
Oh, so you're saying we're watching it now?
Yeah.
Oh yes, I have the link. We are going to watch it real quick.
My biggest thing with the whole new Evangelion movie is it looks almost like it's too ambitious of a project for its own good. Like, I feel like it's gonna look amazing, but I feel like it may like be like, I feel like the story won't be as strong.
Only because it looks so good? Is that your argument?
Kinda, yeah. Like, it looks
so
too
anything
good.
that looks really
I don't
good
know the story is
can never have
good.
a good story. Is that what you're arguing?
I think he's saying that they spend too much money on the production and the anime than they actually do.
Okay, can we find out who the studio was who did this?
That is a good question.
No, it's still made by the same people. Like I'm pretty sure it's still like Gainax.
Made by the same
and whatever.
people doesn't mean made by the same studio.
One of the comments on YouTube on the trailer says, "There's not gonna be a movie. The movie's just gonna be the trailers." That's the movie.
And I also kind of feel
And
like
it makes
some
so
of
much sense.
I feel not all of the. I feel like not all of the 3D is gonna look good though, as well.
No,
that's
obviously,
a-
but it's
gonna be cool.
If
I'm gonna see
anybody's
it.
seen season 4 of Attack on Titan, you'll know what I'm talking about. Where you can have a great story, and sometimes there's going to be CG that looks a little bit cheesy, but you don't give a shit because it's still good.
Oh yeah.
What?
What?
I said nice ass crack.
I said go ahead.
I said, Chance, you should watch Evangelion.
You should suck my.
Chungus. I will if you watch Evangelion.
Oh my god. This is not going in the fucking video.